everyone, it's Miss Anna, and today I'm going to take you through a step-by-step process of creating your own raised beds at home. For this project, you'll need a drill, you'll need some screws, you'll need the lumber. If you don't have a drill, you can just use a hammer and nails. It will be a little bit more work, but it'll be worth it. Our bed dimensions are 8x4, meaning they're 8 feet long and 4 feet wide, but you can decide on what you want. You can do 4x4, 10x4, whatever suits your yard best. And we use pine wood, but it really depends on your budget. You can use cedar wood. It is a little bit more expensive, but it does last longer. And I recommend using untreated wood if you want to have organic gardening versus the treated wood. Width and length really depends on you, but also the height. Ours is 2 tiers high, but you could just do 1 tier and that's totally fine. You'll have plenty of stuff growing and it'll grow great. You could do 3 tiers high, whatever is best for you, but just keep in mind that the higher you go, the more soil. You can buy metal brackets to connect your lumber, but we use 4x4s and just cut them to what we needed, and that worked too. All right, let's get started. There's 3 important steps when choosing a spot for your raised beds. You need access to water for your hose, you need a flat spot, and you also want to pick a spot that's sunny all day long.
8-foot board, cutting it exactly 4x4 cut into 4 pieces, 8 pieces evenly.
We're drilling 3 screws in just to make it more secure, and it's creating a tighter angle, but if you only have 2 screws per side, that's okay too. We flip the bed to its side to get a better right angle since the grass is not completely flat. It was a bit more difficult. If you have brackets, you can flip it on its side and do the bottoms first, but because we had the 4x4s, we're not able to do that because the angle's wrong. But I definitely recommend flipping it over if you have brackets. What do you want to plant in your garden?
Tomatoes, celery, lettuce.
That guy's special? Okay. What does it smell like?
It smells good.
Where is the fruit going to come out of?
The top.
The top? Can you show me?
Here's some squash from this little flower.
What are the 5 things that plants need to grow?
Water, sunlight, soil, space, and
What's in the soil that the plants need?
Worms.
Worms. What else? We just talked about it.
Rocks.
There's some rocks, but things that we need from food. It's called what? It starts with an N. Nutrients. Nutrients in the soil. So we moved the beds a bit to the left here because the slope was a bit smaller on the left side. And you can see here that it's basically full sun. That's what you want in your garden. Pick a spot that's full sun. It's about 5 p.m. here and it's still sunny. Our next step was to prevent the grass from growing underneath. So we put down some cardboard, pine needles, sticks, dead leaves, whatever we could find. I removed the stickers and the tape off the cardboard because we don't want plastic in our soil. And we used some native soil from their yard. We dug it up because we want worms in our soil and that's where we're gonna find them, not in the bags that we buy at Home Depot. And we added topsoil that we bought. We added some compost at the very end. For the second raised bed, we did not put any cardboard down. We just put the soil right on top of the grass, and that's okay too. It's not necessary to put anything down first. If you want, you can use landscape fabric, or if you end up using the cardboard, make sure that you hose it down first. It'll help it decompose. We forgot that part, but it's definitely a good tip.
Can you show us the bear claw? All right, and mix around the soil. So the compost is getting mixed with the topsoil. You gonna make it fluffy or do you want to pat it down?
Fluffy.
Fluffy. Why?
Because then the plant can't breathe and it's like harder for the water to get in.
And what else? What creatures?
And the worms.
Yeah.
They can't make their homes.
Do worms make air through the soil too by moving around? Yeah. In our first bed here, because this side is a little bit on the lower side of the slope, this goes up a little tiny bit. We wanted to put cucumbers because they're going to need a lot more water, and the water might go a little bit down because of the slope. And then we wanted things that are not going to grow too tall on this side so they don't create too much shade for the things on this side. So cucumbers are going to grow a lot taller. If I had planted them over here, they would probably shade my lettuce. So here we have lettuce, we have some chives, scallions, onions, some kohlrabi. Here we have some peppers, and over here we have our cucumbers. So here we just raked it so it's even. We're breaking apart all the chunks of soil, and we put compost on the topsoil, mixed it all together. That way we're gonna get the nutrients leaching down to the rest of the soil. Now we're gonna plan which ones we're gonna plant. We have what?
We have
Broccoli, and then what do we have here? We have Brussels sprouts here, and they're spaced out pretty well because they're gonna grow up. And then the broccoli is spaced out here. Here we have zucchini squash. They're little like on mounds here, and each one has about 2 plants inside. So we put them about 6 feet apart. And then lastly here we have 2 tomatoes plants, they're cherry tomato plants, and they're gonna grow really big, so they're really separate. And then we're gonna also plant some in containers. So next we're gonna put on some straw to keep all the soil kind of moist, so that it doesn't dry out, and to keep them warm. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions about gardening, please send us a message and we will help you out with anything that we can.